Hello, and welcome to Haddonfield. I'm Nick Lathan.
And I'm Peyton Lynch.
And we're talking Halloween 2 this episode. And I'm looking at her right now. This is our guest for the episode. It's Sarah-Jean Peters.
Hi. It's me.
Sarah, I'm going to ask you a question that we ask all our guests.
Yes.
When did you become a fan of Halloween? Or when did you first watch the first movie?
Oh, this is actually a good one. I was staying over at a friend's house when I was younger, and I was not allowed to watch rated R movies when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But they let me watch it, so I just remember the first time that I watched it.
How old were you?
Like 7, maybe 7 or 8.
Oh, wow, you were young.
Jesus.
That's young.
I could be reimagining that. Maybe I wanted to be 7 and watching it, because I thought that would be cool, but yeah.
Similar thing happened to me with the movie Sniper. I was staying at a friend's house in 3rd grade, and we were watching Sniper, and I saw Tom Berenger get I think he gets his finger ripped off. You know how weird memory is when you're watching movies and whatnot? Uh-huh. Like this movie. Me and my brother thought Tim Curry was in it for the longest time, but he is not in this movie.
No.
Who did you think he played in the movie?
The reporter at the whenever.
Oh yeah, the reporter. Okay.
Yeah. So, and have you?
He doesn't look anything like Tim Curry.
No, he doesn't. So, how many of these movies have you seen?
I have seen, like, probably the first one several times, and then others I've seen, like, clips of.
Okay.
Like, I think maybe 20 minutes of Resurrection, and now I've seen the second one, obviously, because we're talking about it.
Well, you said you've seen it once before earlier, right?
Yeah, I did. It, like, struck me halfway through watching the movie that I did watch it when I was a kid, like, on accident. It was on somewhere.
Where was it?
I accidentally watched it. I don't know.
Was it on AMC?
It was on, yeah, probably AMC.
Good old AMC.
American classic.
They have their Halloween
movies.
marathon.
Was American Movie Channel or something like that? Was
What?
it?
I think American, Movie Channel. American Movie Classics, I think, is what it is.
Oh yeah, now it's just AMC. Kind of like how KFC no longer stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What does it stand for?
Oh, AMC
KFC.
doesn't stand for anything
It's
anymore?
just KFC
Wow.
and CIC.
Wow.
Anyway,
There you go.
we're talking Halloween 2, and what we do. I'm doing the Peyton thing. Sorry, Peyton. Are you okay? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was trying to look up American Movie Classics. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay.
Like Turner Movie Classics.
Robert Osborne.
Robert Osborne.
Robert.
I always watch, until I did this podcast, I always watch Halloween and Halloween 2, like, right in a row. Mm-hmm. Because I like to watch them like they're one movie.
Well, that's a good thing to do because, like, this is the Casino Royale Quantum of Solace of the Halloween. Because Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, they're back to back. Like the last scene of Quantum of Solace, or Casino Royale is the first scene of Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also on the Wikipedia page, it says it takes off after the cliffhanger of the first movie. I wouldn't consider the first movie to end on a cliffhanger.
I mean, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's a cliffhanger. So, what we did last episode, I'm gonna keep doing it every episode. Is we do?
You're gonna do your thing.
We
your
do the
stats.
Do you think?
Do the drive-in totals. So,
I'm excited.
just a brief summary. Monster Vision. He still does this. Joe Bob Briggs.
Did you write your own one this time too?
Yeah, I'm gonna read his off and I'm gonna read mine off. So
this is his. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Bob Briggs is he's a drive-in critic and he's a comedian. Joe Bob Briggs is a character. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But he had a show called Monster Vision I used to watch growing up. And he actually did his own drive-in totals for this movie. So I'm going to read those off right now. Or I could just play the audio because it's on my phone. But I'm going to read them off. All right. He's got 13 dead bodies, 1 naked breast.
Well.
Naked. Throat slitting, throat stabbing, 1 motor vehicle chase with explosion, claw hammer to the head, 1 strangulation, scalding water to the face, knife to the forehead, needle to the ear, exploding stuntman, and then he rated 4 stars.
And then he rates 4 stars.
4.
What did he rate? Is 4 stars? Is it out of 4?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
He really likes this movie.
100%.
I like it too. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I liked it a lot more than I
Then you
thought
thought
I
you would.
would, for sure.
Did he rate? Is that based off of the TV version, or did he rate it off the real version? Because I feel like
I think it's off the TV version because they aired these on TNT,
yeah,
which is why I wrote my own, which are based off the
of the actual
version.
movie. Okay.
So I've got 13 dead bodies, 1 unfinished sandwich, 0 instances of Michael Myers driving, chest stabbing with splatter, one vehicle crash with unnecessary explosion, needle to the eye, needle to the temple, and the epic as hell firewalk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the totals. Are those good totals?
And then in the movie version, you do get 2 naked breasts.
Yeah, they're
You do.
a total of 2. Is there only one in the TV version? Just one?
I don't know.
I got 2.
Also, you get a naked ass in the movie too.
You do get a naked
Oh,
ass.
that's right. There was
A man ass, which is surprising.
that was refreshing.
Refreshing.
It's always refreshing to see a man ass.
It
It
is.
is.
It really
It
is. You know,
If only we could have gotten full frontal in this movie.
right? We were all looking for it.
We were all
So that's what I came in for.
Sarah Jean sitting there with her like magnifying glass.
I'm ready for it. Up against the screen. I literally was waiting the whole time for nudity.
She thought this was a porno, actually.
I thought that's what we were doing here. Halloween 2 sounds like a porno to me.
So let's get into the plot.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Mr. Sandman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that they used Mr. Sandman at the beginning. It's interesting because they didn't have any really any songs in the first movie.
Well, they had Don't Fear the Reaper, but boy, is
Yeah,
cold.
but like on the radio, it
They
wasn't
did?
like
I don't even remember that.
when they're driving around smoking marijuana.
it's like on the radio. It's like ambient. Movies, more like
No, I liked Sandman.
yeah, I like that. I like it when movies do like use a song that you wouldn't associate with something scary and then make it scary by. Yeah, so I like that. And it sandwiches the movie
Nick hates it.
I don't hate it. I just associate that song with
Back to the
Back
Future.
to the Future. That and Davy Crockett.
Do they? Davy
The
Crockett's
movie
in
Davy-
Back to
No,
Crockett?
in Back to the Future, they have Davy Crockett, the song, like whenever he's walking around.
Davy Crockett.
That one, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Killed Tim a bar when he was
The other
only 3.
interesting thing that I noticed when they replay the ending of the first movie was that they cut the part where you see his face.
Well, it's kind of implied.
It's implied, but you don't like in the first movie you see like his whole face, and
Yeah.
then in this one they cut that part. So it was interesting.
Got rid of the reveal.
I guess to like save the mystery of like who it is.
Yeah.
The only thing they have, and it's weird because they fall from a different angle.
Yeah, that whole bit is different. And like the part in the grass where he fell, like in the movie, there's like it's mostly dirt, but in this movie it's like full grass, and you can see the indentation of
Oh
where
my
he fell.
God.
It's like a Wile E. Coyote style.
Yeah.
Like
it's very cartoonish.
And then, imprint in the grass. The grass? Yeah. And then Loomis gets down there and, like, touches it.
Yeah, and there's blood all over it
He's got
because he
blood.
shot him 6 times.
6
6 times.
times.
I love that he goes to the house where the douchebag neighbors, and he's like, tell him I shot him. Tell the sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
Tell the sheriff
Tell
I shot him.
Oh, I didn't realize.
He's very
that's
proud.
No, that's not the house that she ran to earlier because that was the neighbors.
Well, they're one of the douchebags.
One of the
next,
douchebags.
Next
They're
door.
like, kids have been playing pranks all night.
Yeah, he's like, I've been trick-or-treated to death. He's like,
But you don't know what death is. That's the one
It's
quote
so
I took
intense,
away from this
yeah.
movie.
my favorite part of that is, like, Loomis runs around the house and, like, kind of does, like, a like a look, and then he just runs behind the house. And then we go to the credits after that.
Yeah,
frantic.
then we get more pumpkin credits.
They were long credits.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've watched an older movie, I guess, because I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
when is
they
it?
tell you everyone who worked on it.
Yeah. Well, a note that I have is I do not like the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern.
No?
From both movies or this one?
This one.
I kind of like it. I like that it's like, I think I see where you're coming from. I don't like that it like opens up and everything.
See, I thought that part was cool.
You like that part, and there's like the skull
With the
inside.
skull behind?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do
it's a little
like-
cheesy, but
So I sort of like it because I like that it's like an innocuous looking pumpkin, and then it opens up, and then it's scary.
I just don't like the carving job of the pumpkin.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You didn't
What's-
like the carving.
different about the one in the first movie is different?
The one in the first movie, first of all, doesn't open up, and it's like more of a scary looking pumpkin.
Yeah, it has more like sharp edges. Well, this one has like a round
It's curvy,
nose.
yeah.
Oh. I thought it was a good pumpkin.
Listen, it's a great
I thought it was a good pumpkin.
I thought it was a great pumpkin, man.
I did like that.
I love all pumpkins equally.
I did like that this time around. Like it seemed like John and Deborah got equal billing for it.
Yeah, because it was Rick Rosenthal. He directed it, and then it was produced a John Carpenter, Deborah Hill production.
Yeah, and they both co-wrote the script.
I should have paid attention to those credits.
Well, they wrote the first one together.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so then I don't think there's much else to say about that.
All right, end of the podcast. Bye.
And then we immediately, just like in the first movie, we start with Michael's point
POV.
of view.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And we get Loomis running around. Shot him 6 times.
Yeah, you hear him in the background.
He's not human.
Yeah.
Times.
I do like that segment where he's like walking behind the houses. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he gets to what is it? Oh, the cute older couple.
The Elrods. The Elrods.
The kind of cute.
Yeah.
Before that, something that I noticed was there are still trick-or-treaters out.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Those kids are bad.
They trick or treat all night long.
We never
Hard
did.
and had
I know, yeah, it's so much.
We asked Rich this last time. What times did you trick-or-treat growing up?
I trick or treated every year until I was 17 or 18.
No, but what time
what
of
time
night
frame?
did you start?
Oh, between it was definitely done hard finish by 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my family usually went earlier. I feel like we started around 5 or 6 and then got home at like 8. Maybe.
I mean, when I was a kid, obviously, it was usually during the daytime.
Yeah.
Like we were back.
Yeah, so Haddonfield, their hours of operation for trick-or-treating are 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. 7
They
solid
take
hours.
Halloween seriously, okay?
Yeah.
Especially
Max
now.
time for Max candy. Mm-hmm. And it's a dangerous game,
High
as we
risk,
later learn
high reward.
in this film a little bit later. So we meet the Elrods and
Making ham sandwiches.
making a ham sandwich, watching Night of the Living Dead, which we mentioned
Of
last.
course.
You know why that movie pops up so much in horror movies? In movies in general?
Because it's not licensed.
It doesn't have a
there was no
copyright.
copyright.
Oh,
so
I was
it's
going
free
to say
use
because it's
it.
a classic.
Yeah, that's why it's been
But-
remade a couple times too. Because it's like nobody owns it.
Yeah, because it had a different title, and they had the copyright at the bottom of the title, and then they
Yeah.
changed the title of the movie to Night of the Living Dead, but they didn't include that copyright at the bottom.
It sucks.
Copyright laws and blah, blah, blah.
I know. It really sucks for George A. Romero.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Did he pass away too?
He died
Oh my
like-
gosh, everybody's passing
He
away.
died last year.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's in the house whenever Michael's in the background, like when it cuts from the POV
Yeah, that's scary.
to him in the background.
good.
Oh, it's so cool.
I like that
Yeah.
shot of him in the kitchen and then they're both in the living room. And then he walks out of the house and Mrs. Elrod finds the blood and she screams. And then the neighbor, this is so upsetting. So the neighbor,
Oh
I
God,
forget
the
what her name
dialogue.
is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
girl.
Alice, she like hears her screaming and then she goes in the house, goes on the phone. She doesn't call the police. She just tells her friend, oh yeah, they're screaming over the Elrods. Probably he started beating her.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, the wife is always getting on his nerves. He's probably beating her or something. I mean, like crazy insensitive.
And that's why she gets straight up murdered.
Yeah,
That part,
Mrs. Elrod does not get murdered.
I
she
think
does.
Annie was completely added later because I think that was part of the John Carpenter reshoots because they wanted an earlier killing in the movie.
Oh, Alice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think, because I think before that there's not another killing until like a half an hour in or something.
Yeah.
It's like really late in.
I was terrified he was going to kill the Elrods. I got very attached to them very quickly.
Yeah.
But
She
they're
does
good.
break the pattern though of like she's not having sex with anyone, so she breaks the pattern of like Michael only killing people who are having sex.
Well, the mechanic wasn't having sex.
That's true. That's true.
He was just jerking it on the side of the road.
Yeah, maybe
that
he was
son of a
jerking it.
bitch mechanic.
I think Michael just wanted his coveralls for real. I don't think he was really
It was just
making a statement.
something he had to do.
Do you know who Alice was talking to on the phone?
No, did they say her name?
She was talking to Nancy Loomis,
Oh, okay, nice.
who
I'll have
plays
to
Annie
listen
in the first
better
movie.
the next time I watch it. She's also in this movie as a dead body.
Which we'll get to that later, and it really cracks me up. All right, so now we got the the ambulance ride. Yeah, first Alice's death, kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't know. It seems like it was added later.
Yeah, it was part of the... So when they first shot the movie, Rick Rosenthal really wanted to make it a lot like the first movie because it was supposed to be a continuation. And the first movie doesn't have any blood showing, really. So he was trying to...
Judith is the only time you see blood.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was really trying to make it more suspenseful and, like, not have as many violent deaths. But then when John Carpenter saw it, he was like, I'm not scared. So he, like, added a bunch of, like, blood
I'm
and stuff
not
to the
scared.
movie. Yeah,
Well, it's because, like, all the slasher movies that are out at this time.
Yeah, since then had become a lot more violent. So he thought that people wouldn't take it seriously if it wasn't more violent, basically.
But yeah,
so he reshot a lot of the scenes.
But yeah, her getting... I'm assuming she gets stabbed, like, right here.
Yeah, because
in the sternum.
blows up right in her face.
It explodes.
Yeah.
Like the alien popped out of her chest.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy blood stuff in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then it cuts to the ambulance and taking Lori out on the stretcher.
Let's talk about her wig. Horrible wig.
Horrible, bad wig.
I didn't know it was a wig. I thought something
thought
was...
she just had
I
bad
suspected
hair.
it was something bad was happening,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what. I couldn't put my
You
finger
knew
on
something
it.
was off.
I couldn't put my finger on what was going... Something with
It's
her
also,
head.
like, not a good match for her hair from the first movie.
No, it's
either.
not. No, it's not.
Yeah, I can't hate on Jamie Lee.
It's not her fault. She hated the wig. It was
Oh,
itchy
really?
and, like, she didn't like it. Yeah.
Oh, you think she chose the wig?
Yeah, I thought she specifically dressed herself for the movie. I didn't know.
Apparently, the second movie had a huge budget, and it's more money should have went towards the wig. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
And
we
this
need the person from True Detective, because True Detective has the best wigs out of out of all cinema, television. True Detective has the best wigs. 'Cause
Even the kids on Stranger Things find that hot ass wig for 11. Like, they could find a
that wig for 11 in Stranger Things
so
is so
good.
much better than the wig that she wears in
It was
Halloween
supposed
2.
to be like a costume store wig, but it's like a lace front.
Oh,
wig.
yeah.
You can't even tell.
They could have got a better wig at Party City. Anyway.
And this is where we first meet Jimmy, who I'm pretty sure is my first crush ever from a movie. I thought he was so cute.
I developed a little crush when he walked in. He's a cutie.
Lance
He's a
Guest.
cutie patootie.
Guest.
He's star of The Last Starfighter, which was directed by Nick Castle, who played The Shape in the original
In the first
one.
movie. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen The Last Starfighter.
Jesus Christ, Peyton, you need to watch The Last Starfighter.
I know. I
Yeah.
didn't really like it.
I've
I
never
talk about
seen
it every episode.
And he knows Lori because his brother Ziggy goes to school with her.
Ziggy.
I was like, why that name? That
My
must be
brother
someone they
Ziggy's in
do.
a class.
Yeah.
I don't know why I made him have that voice.
Is that the only way he knows her at all? Because
Yeah, because he goes to college.
it seems like they had
'Cause
a
he's a
much
college
deeper
boy.
relationship.
I know. She is instantly attracted to him, even though he's kind of being like a creep a little bit.
My
Yeah.
But
favorite
he's so cute, I guess.
My favorite part about this ambulance ride is the conversation between Jimmy and Bud. Here's the conversation. Her old man from Royal, her old man with Strode Realty? Yeah, okay.
That's what they said. I was trying to figure out. I was like, was that meaningful dialogue? And I just decided to just ignore
tune
it.
out.
There's so much dumb exposition in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
just
needless.
just explaining the plot of if you didn't see the original one, we're trying to catch you up to speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the boombox, walking around with the boombox.
Oh my god.
Like
the
just
kid, the cowboy hat kid with
blasting
the boombox,
exposition. That's all that is. But yeah, like her old man with Strode Realty. Yeah, okay. Like you're the one.
He
that
has
fucking
no
asked the
opinion about
question.
it. All right.
Bud, you asked the question.
Why? Why'd you ask it, bud?
Then we go to the hospital where the razor apple kid is.
Yeah, that's like one of the even though there's so many deaths in this movie, that makes me cringe the most, just seeing the kid with the razor blade in his mouth.
You want to know how they
The
made that? There's
Remind me.
What they do?
well, to remind Sarah Jean, who
I was like, I just watched this movie, but I can't remember the razor blade.
so after the ambulance ride, we're introduced to the hospital, and it's a mother bringing her son out.
Oh my God, yes. Oh goodness, that was so traumatic. What was so? What something was hanging out of his mouth?
Yeah,
Well, it's like an urban legend that like back then during Halloween, like people would sneak razor blades into apples and stuff, so that like when kids bit into it, they would get it stuck on their tongue. Yeah,
I didn't know
like,
that's
playing off of that
what
idea.
that was.
Yeah.
That was such a like.
Apparently that shit never happened.
Yeah, it was just like a hoax that somebody was like, well, watch what your kids eat because like they're doing this, but nobody actually did it.
I thought that was a great like.
I'm pretty sure candy companies.
I don't know, just foreshadowing that things are going to get fucked up. I mean, I already know that they are, but it was just really like brutal.
Yeah, and it sort of goes with the theme of this movie of like bad things happening on Halloween. Sort of like spirits are unrestful. And
There are no rules.
There are no rules. So
It's also like the only other person that we see get treated at the hospital besides Lori. I think.
Yeah, there are no other patients in the hospital. Really empty
It's
ass
like
hospital.
an empty hospital.
and the babies. Don't forget about the babies.
And the babies. We just see
Oh,
the babies. But we
right.
don't see them getting treated. They're just like there.
The razor blade was a real razor blade that was dulled down, and it was melted into a retainer.
Oh, okay.
And so the retainer was put in the kid's mouth.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part makes me squirm.
That makes me even more uncomfortable. I had no idea what it was. It looked like his teeth were falling out. I was half asleep when I watched this, but
See, another note I have on here is I really want a paramedic jacket.
Oh, yeah, they're cute.
They're wearing the Dickies jackets. They
Yeah,
say
they're very cute.
Haddonfield Memorial Hospital on the back.
Yeah, I like them. Does that one place make them?
Trick or Treat Studios?
Yeah.
No, they don't. No, I know Fright Rags was selling a version. Like I think they sell the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital pins.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
They have those nurses' capes.
Yeah, I was like, do they have the nurse outfits?
Yeah, none of the nurses in this movie have capes.
Does Jill have one when she runs outside, or
She's
is that
wearing a
just
sweater.
cardigan? Okay.
Because I saw
I
her.
almost thought it was a cape.
I saw her and I was like, she wearing a cape? Nope,
No.
sweater. She's wearing a cardigan.
We meet like a couple of the people when Lori comes in. We meet Jill, who also knows Lori somehow, Mrs. Alves, and then Dr. Mixter.
And he's drunk.
Yeah,
Dr.
I feel like he's drunk. He came from a party. Also, there's only one doctor at the whole hospital.
It's a small town. I think they're trying to. I think they're really trying to hammer home that this is a small town because in the first movie, it was alluded to the fact that Lori is not popular at all.
Yeah.
And then in this
She's
movie,
smart.
suddenly everybody fucking knows her. Doctor's like, oh yeah, this is Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, her dad owns Strode Realty.
Yeah. Well, and I think her parents were at the party that he was at.
Maybe.
It's sort of, yeah. I've
At the
seen
country
both
club?
the TV. Yeah, I've seen both the TV version and this version. I don't think it really comes up in this version, but in the TV version, there's like a lot more exposition and stuff, and they tell you more about the parents being at a party.
Well, we'll get into that in a later episode.
We also meet Mrs. Alves, which I think is cool. I was reading some like behind the scenes stuff. Originally, this part was written for like an old white lady, but I think Rick Rosenthal really fought to get the actress Gloria Guilford for it, and I think it was a good choice for the movie because it features an African American actress, and she's like playing like a really important part. She's like the most qualified person at the hospital.
Yeah, like the
she's like the
smartest
only one
person
that
there
really
who cares.
what's going on. And I think she does a good job in it as well too.
Yeah.
That's all I really had to say about that.
The part that really made me laugh was the doctor is like, you've lost a lot of blood, and then he immediately takes more blood from her.
Yeah. And then Lori keeps trying to tell him not to put her to sleep.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course they do. Why they gotta do that?
They always do that. in
Why they gotta
horror
do
movies.
that?
They always got to push you
They
to
never
sleep.
listen.
Why? Just listen to her.
Everybody always got to put you to sleep.
Why?
When I go to the hospital, I demand to be put to sleep.
Me too.
I mean, that's the point. Just give me some relief. God, if I gotta be here,
If I got to be at this hospital, put me to sleep.
knock me out.
So then it cuts back to Brackett and Loomis, right?
Yeah, and I really want a buddy cop movie starring these two.
Yes, that would be so good. I just love that Brackett keeps being like, "You let him out. It's all your fault." And Loomis is like, "No, it's not me."
He's like,
It's him. It's the evil inside of him.
I'm getting pretty sick and tired of you ordering me around.
God, pulling guns on everybody.
And I just love how Loomis
always.
doesn't want to take any blame. He's like, no, it wasn't me. I told them not to let him out.
It's their fault, not mine. Yeah, and these scenes you find out. So last episode, I said it was Livingston County, Illinois, was where Haddonfield was, because that's what it says on the Wikipedia.
Uh-huh.
Well, according to this movie, on their patches, it's the Warren County Sheriff's Department.
Uh-oh.
That must have been a mix-up between the costume department and the...
First the wig.
First the wig.
Now the patches.
Now the patches.
So, costuming is horrible. Is that right? Yeah, I really like, and this is, so, he's, talking about how many fucking times he shot him. He shot him 6 times, I think. I think he shot him 6 times, not sure.
Yeah.
If I recall, I think it was 6 times.
Yeah.
And then Brackett brings up what we brought up last episode.
Yeah.
You could have missed him.
Yeah. Brackett's like, I'm not saying you didn't shoot 6 times, but maybe you didn't hit him every time. And to that I say, yes, I agree.
Last episode, of course, we established that Loomis has horrible eyesight.
and probably missed Michael every time.
Probably missed him.
Later on, we find out that Lori has perfect eyesight, but I'm not going to say that right now.
Save it for later.
So and then they pull up at the crosswalk, and there's a group of trick or treaters, and then Loomis sees a silhouette of who could be Michael.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Stop him!" And
Somebody
he runs
wearing
out,
Michael costume.
and he pulls out a gun. He's gonna shoot.
Yeah, he's going to shoot him, even though he doesn't know who it is.
Yeah.
Random person.
And
then the police car pulls up and hits him.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
my God. Can we talk about it?
So he walks into the middle of the road, and he does it as slow as possible.
Yeah.
It's the slowest possible walk, and all of a sudden a car comes out of nowhere and fucking hits him. Goes into a news truck or something.
Yeah, it's some sort of big truck, yeah.
And then explosion immediately.
Against it, yeah. He lights on fire and explodes.
The cops are like, why aren't they like, you shouldn't have done that?
It's never addressed. It kills me. The scariest thing about this movie is the fact that that kid who was not Mike Myers died and no one is seeking justice for it. Literally, I'm so bothered by it.
Technically, we don't know that it's not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The movie doesn't tell us that, but still.
When I was a kid, that's what I thought. Michael Myers had literally been killed by a car, and he was on fire and then came back to life. I was like, this guy could not be killed.
Yeah.
I think this something about this podcast that we're establishing is our memories with these movies. Mm. And that's...
as children, it's or as kids, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different as a kid versus
Curry,
watching it now.
Tim Curry playing the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my favorite line, not my favorite line, but just a line that makes me laugh after the cop stumbles out of the car holding his head, and he goes, "He came out of nowhere."
Yeah.
I heard that this time, too. I didn't hear that the first time, and I was like, all right, well... You're still going to trial. Even though he doesn't, probably.
No. It's
also,
never...
the new cop that we're introduced into in this movie comes in and he's like, they found the house. There's 3 kids dead in there. One of them's Annie. His line delivery is so ridiculous.
It's a lot.
He's that dude reminds me so much of Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
I feel like that guy used to play football somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
The cracked me up about Ben Tramer. We're just gonna go ahead and say it's Ben Tramer because
later on it's revealed that it's Ben Tramer.
But he's on fire. Lee Brackett goes, "Is it him or not?"
Yeah, and then and Loomis is like, "I don't know. I don't know."
He's on fire. How do you not? You don't know.
Also, but it doesn't look like Michael at all. You can tell it's a different person as an audience member.
Oh yeah, well because he has blonde hair.
Well, yeah, that. But also, the body type is different and everything. You can tell it's not him.
I like that because they established in the first movie that Ben Tramer was out drinking with his friends.
Yeah.
But he's walking around in this costume.
He's fine.
When he was trick or treating though, because he has a bag. Was the bag full of liquor or something?
Maybe. Yeah, and his friends say in the movie he's super drunk.
Yeah, he's super drunk. God.
Also, why? I said this last time, but why is Ben Tramer wearing a Michael costume? What did he think he was going to Halloween as?
Yeah.
Because this is just something that he stole the mask, he stole the coveralls. Was this a package costume? Or he was just I'm going to go as the ghost of a mechanic. What? What was his thought process?
Yeah. And also, I don't. So, what is the history of this mask? Like, what is this mask? What is this mask
supposed to be?
What is this mask?
Selling it?
You know who makes the mask?
Who?
Silver Shamrock.
What's that?
What is that?
It's from Halloween 3.
Oh, we haven't.
Oh my
I've only seen it once, and it's been a long time, so I haven't rewatched it.
I
for
maybe
the
even saw
podcast
this
yet.
movie. I don't remember.
Oh, you would know if you saw Halloween 3 because Michael Myers was not in it, Sarah Jean.
Oh. I'll have to save that one for later.
You should check it out, actually.
Yeah.
I like it. Not a lot of Halloween fans like it.
But there's a cult following now for it. I feel like
It's the I'm gonna keep comparing because I love James Bond so much. It is the On Her Majesty's Secret Service of the Halloween franchise.
I love it when you compare something I haven't seen with something else I haven't seen. It's just fabulous.
Same. I haven't seen it either. I'm excited to revisit it though because I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's really good. And Silver Shamrock Novelties is the company that makes the masks. And because spoiler alert, if you just skip ahead or whatever, but Silver Shamrock, they make these masks that apparently they
turn them into monsters or something.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't turn them into monsters. That's the plot of
Halloween Town 2. Calabar's Revenge.
Oh my god, that reference I got.
You're welcome.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Silver Shamrock makes these masks that are in Halloween 3. And the masks do stuff. And
do they tell you what the Michael mask is supposed to be?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like,
Michael
just
Myers
who is it modeled after? I just need to know.
Well, the real mask is it's a
William Shatner mask.
It's a William Shatner mask from like Star Trek, and then they painted it white and then changed the hair.
Right. But it's
that's
sold.
just in real
It is
life.
sold in the store. In this, in the movie, it's sold in the store as it is, right?
Yeah, as it is.
So,
yeah.
what?
So
I
is
just,
it supposed to be? I have no
and
idea.
we know it has a brown hair option and a blonde hair option. Is there a black hair option?
Not that I know of. Maybe in a later movie.
Wow. I'm
Maybe
mesmerized.
A redhead option.
They need to explain this in the new movie
the new
coming out,
movie.
which is the whole reason we're doing this podcast. We're excited about that movie.
We're just desperately pleading. Please let us
Please tell us about the mask.
Hello, David Gordon Green. Please go back to your reshoots. I know the movie comes out in 2 months, but go ahead and
know. Do us all a favor.
explain that. And also, listener, thank you for donating to the Patreon. Where are we at now? Oh yeah, the bodies were found at the Wallace house, and then we cut to the hospital, where is Jimmy and Laurie? They're setting up their relationship, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
it's
first
so
of all, Laurie
quick.
doesn't know him. I feel like maybe she does know him, but he's like, hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. And she's like, oh, thanks. She's instantly into him.
Yeah.
It's not
Because
written very
he
well.
was like, "Do you want a Coke?" He's just trying to get.
And
her
she's
a
like,
Coke.
yeah, I'll have a Coke. and then the nurse comes in and she's like, no visitors, leave her alone.
Visiting
out.
hours are over.
I love.
Get out.
She's not
great.
about it.
And then they get called to take out the bodies from the other house.
And then we go there, and who do we see first? Dana Carvey.
Is that the news reporter?
He's the guy in the trucker
What?
hat. Yeah, that's Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey?
From
I didn't
SNL.
recognize
Saturday
him, but
Night Live
I saw him on the
That one, yeah.
IMDb, and I was like,
Garth?
whoa, who was he? So that's who he plays.
Yeah, she's the
Kidding
one.
me.
She was like, if you get a statement from the kids, ask the parents
that?
first. Huh?
Who plays that?
That woman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh. Why were you talking about her?
Because I was explaining the scene. Who for the
She
listener.
reminds me of Gail Weathers from Scream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like a very
That-
Gail Weathers moment.
yeah,
of
that
like,
scene
if you
was
can't
very-
get permission from the parents, get the statement anyway.
And Dana
get it.
Carvey's like, yes, I'm wearing a vest and a trucker hat. It has no
Oh,
lines.
so he's like her assistant.
I didn't catch
Okay.
that at all.
Yeah, he's just. You don't see his face really, but I was watching the end credits and I was like, oh yeah, he is in this movie. Just like how he's a mime in This Is Spinal Tap. I always forget he's in This Is Spinal Tap, and then he's a mime in that movie. No line.
Dana
Just a mime.
frickin' Carvey.
And then we see Anna. Yeah, they wheel out Annie's body. Played again.
And they show her face
Yeah, that cracks me up. They brought Nancy Loomis back,
just for that.
and yeah,
I think she was like friends with them. Like,
yeah.
'cause
Well, she's
in-
married.
Yeah.
She was married to Tommy Lee Wallace at the
Yeah.
time.
and she was in his first movie and in Halloween too. Mm-hmm. What is this for taking? It's not taking a film. No, what's the?
No, the
movie
Assault on
that-
Precinct 13?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
God, that movie's awesome.
I haven't
Also-
seen that. I need to watch it.
I'm just going to do a deep dive into all with John Carpenter's
So
movies.
that's when we say bye-bye to Brackett and hello to Gary Hunt,
To new
the
guy.
other.
My favorite part
policeman.
about Brackett's exit is he does the Arnold Schwarzenegger eye close.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger does that in every movie. That's what I call it the Schwarzenegger lip close. Because every time, like everybody, like they'll die, and then Schwarzenegger will come and be like sometimes he doesn't even touch their
It doesn't
face.
look like he touches her face, but her eyes still closed.
And then,
And then he's like, I have to tell my wife before she hears from someone else.
does.
and then Loomis is like, I'm so sorry. He's like, you let him out.
You let him out. He couldn't let it go. He couldn't.
He's like, I shot him 6 times, in which I wrote down in my notes, how many times did he shoot him?
I couldn't.
6 times.
Yeah. I keep forgetting.
Was it 6?
Yeah.
I'm glad this movie reminds us every...
That's when we meet Karen and her friend Darcy. Karen is the dumbest dumbest, meanest nurse in the whole movie.
Before we get to that, the part at the Wallace house that cracks me up is that the new sheriff or whatever, this guy, Terry Bradshaw dude, he's like, tell this crowd to get back, and there's like not a big crowd at all. That part just cracks me. He's like, get back, everybody, get back, and they're like, yeah, we're just standing here, dude.
Hunter Von Leer.
But yeah, then we get to the kill the boombox who's blasting exposition.
Yeah. And then these 2 ladies are coming out. We find out Karen's a nurse at the thing. And she promised Darcy to give her a ride home. She's like, you promised me. And she's like, yeah, but now I don't want to.
Which, I don't know if you were listening, but as they were walking up, they're like, that's the lamest party ever. Bobbing for apples.
Yeah.
And then...
And she's like, and they use water? And Darcy's like, you have to use water because blah, 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 blah.
I love how Karen was complaining about taking Darcy out. She's like, it's 5 minutes to your house and then another 5 minutes to the hospital. I'm like, that's 10 goddamn... And she's still 15 minutes late.
She's still 15 minutes. And then she gets to the hospital, and instead of rushing to where she's supposed to work, she goes to flirt with Bob, who's the grossest. Bud. Who's like I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Bob from the first movie. Bud, who's like the grossest, worstest person in this movie. I don't understand what anybody sees in him. He's not attractive, and he's also awful and like
He's
a
a
pervert.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the parking lot, the part that was really cool was like they drive off in the Mustang and Boombox dude comes back, like blasting more exposition, and then Michael
Yeah, it's
bumps
revealed
into
that
him,
Michael's still alive.
and then the music blasting, like the music is playing, the music in that part's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's so loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets to the hospital sign and it's like Haddonfield Memorial this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he knows to go that way.
Because on the boombox it says like Laurie Strode was taken to the hospital. Like that is
there we go.
way too much fucking information.
Yeah, like they would not share that in real
No, they
life,
wouldn't.
especially if the person who attacked her was still going,
like-
was still around.
I know. Like no, they would not. Like that's why I wrote down like this scene might be unnecessary.
Just maybe.
I do love that shot of Karen getting out of the car and then you see Michael in the window.
Yeah, like she closed the door.
yes.
Yeah.
That's an awesome shot.
Yeah. And I love that we cut
hitting
to
the
the guard station and the horror marathon still going on strong.
It's still going on. Along with the news, yeah, he's watching. I think he's also watching Night of the Living Dead, and then the news is also playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Garrett, the security guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote down I want Bud to die.
Yeah, I want him to die too.
Definitely. So
then-
glad. So glad he died.
Janet's like, ever the word is hell or shit or damn. Talking about how he talks.
And then he's
And
like,
then he
"Fuck,
says-
I'm sorry."
The fuck were.
Oh my god. He can go screw.
He can go
He
screw.
can.
I hate when he
can
sings
go
too.
for
He's
it.
not a good singer either.
Is he singing Amazing Grace?
Yeah. I was watching behind the scenes thing, and apparently it took them forever to figure out a song for him to sing because they didn't want to pay for one. And they're like, "Oh, Amazing Grace is free. You can sing that."
There you go.
Doesn't he change the lyrics to something
Yeah, come
sexual?
sit on my face.
Amazing Grace, come sit on my face.
And then something about her. I want your pie. Or
Oh.
something. So gross.
God.
And then
Speaking about
and then
can you have me a
Jimmy's
piece of
like,
that cookie?
can you shut up? And then Bud's like, listen, you can't get in relationships with patients. Now nurses, that's a different story.
He's a piece of shit. Man. And then and then-
Karen's a fashionista because she has to put her belt on with her nurse
Oh
outfit.
yeah, that was a nice choice. I was like, isn't that against protocol?
We get another point of view shot with Michael, and he goes in the room with the babies. I always get so scared.
Oh God.
the blocking in that part is so freaking cool.
It's so cool. The camera work is so amazing. Where he's like ducking into the hallway and then out of the hallway when Mrs. Alves comes back down. That whole shot sequence is really, really good.
Yeah, and then we cut to Lori and Jimmy.
Wait, before we do that, so the conversation that Mrs. Alves has with Karen is actually the one point in the movie where it passes the Bechdel test. She's like, you were 15 minutes late again, you can't do that. And then Karen's like, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. But there's another conversation with Karen that almost passes with Darcy, but they mention that some guy's party, and then they mention one other guy, and then there is a conversation that she has with Lori later on, but that Mrs. Alves has with Lori when the phones get cut off, but she mentions Mr. Garrett and the doctor, and I think Jimmy too. She mentions.
Yeah,
I think we can thank Deborah Hill for this movie passing the Bechdel test.
Probably, yeah, for sure. I like that scene too because it shows that even though Mrs. Alves is very strict, it's all because she's the patient. She really cares about the patient.
She cares so much, yeah.
That's why her death later in the movie sucks.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
I think
her death is like...
We'll get to it later,
Yeah.
but I think she has the worst fucking
Oh,
death.
for sure. That shocked me.
Yeah.
So where was I
And I
going
don't
with this?
shock easily.
Oh, yeah, and then Lori and Jimmy are talking, and then Jimmy's like, yeah, you're being stalked by Michael Myers. She's
Yeah,
like,
he tells her about
He's
it.
like, Michael Myers? From the Myers house?
Yeah.
Why me?
Yeah.
I don't
She's like,
get it.
isn't he in a hospital somewhere?
Yeah. And that's when we find out the phone lines have been
Get cut
cut.
out, yeah.
Bum, bum, blah.
Which Mr. Garrett, the security guard's kind of a dick to Janet.
Yeah, he's like, here, use this, and she's like, I don't know how to use it, and then he just walks away.
He could have explained how to fucking walkie-talkie works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if he had done that,
Then
he would have
maybe-
lived. Maybe.
Which the cat scare.
The cat scare is the worst. That cat is so fucking loud. I want to kill it every time it scares
yeah.
me.
Does it jump on him?
Yeah, it does. It jumps right on
God,
him.
and he
So-
falls into the
Classic cat
garbage.
scare.
Yeah.
And then
Classic
It's a
cat scare.
classic.
This-
A cat's
this sequence had the best like suspense build up of the whole movie.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Which I really want a montage of Mr. Garrett opening up doors and then shit falling out. Like, cause it just made me
It's
laugh
like
so
every
hard.
time you think Michael's gonna come out and get him, it's just like something's
more
falling.
trash.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
coming out. If I had directed this movie, it would have just been boxes falling out of closets for an hour and a
That would have
half.
been so good. I'm sad you didn't direct this.
Ugh. I was -7 years old.
And then Michael kills Mr. Garrett with a hammer.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Janet gives up and goes back to work.
Just another day at the office.
And then we go to the morgue, which features an actor,
Tell us.
Jeffrey Kramer. Do you know who Jeffrey Kramer is?
No.
He was Deputy Hendrix in Jaws.
Oh, I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah.
Nice. I have
And
seen Jaws.
he's the dentist that tries to identify the body.
Dentist?
Isn't he a
That's-
dentist?
No, he's at the coroner.
Oh, okay.
He just talked about
He just talks about
the teeth not
I
having
just assumed he was
fillings.
a dentist, I guess.
Mike Myers is 21.
I wrote down dentist in my notes. Nick is cracking up.
He's
We have a
off
chart.
of his chair.
We have a chart. That's why they should have had Brackett involved,
Yeah.
because old Terry Bradshaw was like, I guess we take him to the dentist. I don't know. And then Loomis the entire time was like, shut him 6 times. Don't take him to the dentist. Yeah, he has no fillings,
Yeah.
which that's bullshit. By the time I was 17, I had like
Yeah.
2 fillings.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they didn't do him like that back then. I don't know.
Maybe back then they took care of
You
themselves.
had to be over 18 to get a filling.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, they said he was probably 17 or 18, but they couldn't know for sure until they got his files.
And then Loomis says Michael Myers is 21.
Yeah.
Yes.
In which, famously, in the first movie, he's credited as being Michael Myers, age 23.
Yeah.
He got younger.
Well, they also, I was reading on the Wikipedia or something that they sort of retcon his, like, age because of, like, the whole thing with Lori, because, like,
Cool factor.
he went into the asylum, like, 2 years after she was born or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really.
Because according to later on in the movie, according to, like, it was, like, 2 years after she was born, he went into the asylum, and then
Yeah.
2 years after that, their parents died.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Lori was adopted at the age of 4.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid.
But then that's a little bit later on, but we can cover it now. Like in the fantasy sequence, she doesn't look 4 years old. No, first of all,
she looks like she's like 8.
And like apparently her adopted mom is a bitch because she's like, I'm not your real mom.
Yeah, what kind of bullshit is that? I was watching it today.
She's like, I told you, Lori, I'm not your real mom.
What conversation was that?
Like why is she like that? And then like Lori, they let her visit him in the asylum. Like, what the fuck,
dude? We can just get into this now. I have in my notes John Carpenter. Like, I have it written like John Carpenter and Hill wrote the script, even though Carpenter thought there was no story left to tell.
Yeah, they didn't want to write this movie for sure.
Yeah, he said like John Carpenter drank like 6 packs of beer every night while he wrote it.
Oh my god!
And like I was watching an interview before we recorded the Halloween episode that the bit which Michael is Laurie's brother came at 2 a.m. and he was just like, I don't know, like just threw it in there. Like that's what he made it sound like.
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. Yeah. I love John Carpenter to death, but yeah, this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the script, I think the movie's good, but like the script could be much better for sure.
I like the kills and all that stuff, the acting and all that stuff in this movie is good, but the script is just horrible.
Yeah, like the dialogue's just not good. But
and then we go to, after we find out he's 21, we go to the Myers house where there's a riot.
Yeah, I guess people like found out that it was Michael Myers and they're just like mad.
Because that asshole on the radio blasting all that personal information.
Shouldn't have done that.
And that's when Ben Tramer's friends show up and we find out that the body's probably Ben Tramer.
He's like, oh yeah, you left the party at 10. And he's like,
so
what time is it? He's like, what time is it? He's like, oh, it's after 11.
Makes sense. An hour. Timeline adds up.
And this is also, so this movie does some good setups.
Yeah.
So in this sequence, Terry Bradshaw, I'm going to keep calling him Terry Bradshaw, do not know his name. What's his name?
The character's name is Greg, I think.
Okay, the deputy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want a cigarette? Like offering Loomis a cigarette, and Loomis takes his cigarette and he lights his, and then he hands he's trying to light Loomis's, and he gives up and just does the lighter, and then Loomis takes that lighter, lights it, and then puts it in his pocket.
Oh, that's good. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's when it cuts to, I think, Karen, and then Bud like buzzes her into his room and scares her.
So stupid. Why is there nobody in this hospital?
Yeah.
This hospital
There's no other patients.
Just babies.
There's babies and
Lori. Yeah.
They've already told the kid to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is another patient that we don't see on screen because later on there's a buzz that Jill has to take care of.
Oh.
We'll get to it when it comes up, but yeah. And then we get the Lori flashback, which we already talked about. And I think during that part we see the dripping blood, which I'm assuming is when Mrs. Alves dies, but it doesn't tell you what the blood is.
What flashback was that one? Was that the one
where she sees her mom and her mom's like, I'm not your mom?
Yeah, okay. Because I just wrote down flashback, but I couldn't remember what it was. And then after that we have the attempted hot tub sex.
Yeah. Which apparently the water was freezing cold in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I feel bad because like I know the actress did not want to do the nude scene for this movie at all.
Really?
Yeah.
They forced it? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's awful.
Yeah. But I do love the I also love her line, it could get cold in here.
Yeah.
It's cold out there, it can get cold in here.
Yeah, I love
that. My favorite death is the silent death that happens behind the window.
When Bud's strangled?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, I wrote down Michael turning up the heat.
Yeah. But I love like that the shot is her, but we see the death happen in the background. I think that's so cool looking.
That's really cool.
And then my least favorite death is when she gets burnt to death. I hate that.
Yeah, that's very.
It's cool though. It's like it's an imaginative death.
Well,
that's watching it.
That's a callback to earlier because he's bobbing her head in the water for bobbing for apples.
I didn't put that together.
So that's why that line is like in the, because that's another setup and payoff.
Yeah.
Which the part that I always thought was weird was she like grabs his hand and starts kissing him.
I hate that. Every time she puts his hand in her mouth, I'm like, ew, his hands are so gross.
Oh, he's got some dirty full of blood and bacteria from all the people he's killed.
He's got dog and or skunk DNA on his hands because he got hungry earlier. Like, you gotta think about this is all in the same night.
Yeah, I hate that part.
He dug up a tombstone. He did not wash his hands.
Ugh,
he got shot. Gross. He fell on some
You know, he does not have good hygiene
he doesn't wash
habits.
his hands.
No way.
So she would have died eventually of some like disease.
Yeah, that's a slow death.
Really,
Would have been a slow
would
death.
prefer-
really, Michael
the-
was giving her a mercy.
Exactly. He was
giving her a
being merciful.
quick death.
Them lips,
Before
them
her-
lips got gangrene on them. I might as well scald
He was
her
really,
face.
he was really just trying to like clean up her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest part about that death, though, it's a fucking horrible death. But
Yeah.
the only funny part about it is the heat gauge scalding.
Scalding, yeah.
It's just
and
scalding.
it like
Is it really?
it squeaks like a hot
I didn't
tea or
even.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that part cracked me up.
Why does it get up that high? Why do they
He
need
turns
that?
it. Michael turns it up.
Yeah.
It's for therapy. It's for like
Yeah.
heat therapy for like if
But
you.
why would you make it?
Why does it need to go that
Why would you
high?
make the gauge that high?
Yeah, I don't know.
In the first
Just
place.
let it stop at like
Maybe it's
medium
for,
warm.
Maybe it's for cleaning purposes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe you got to
To
sterilize
disinfect
the tub.
stuff. Yeah, maybe.
Which I'm glad they had those. They had those tubs that baseball players get in.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, that's what. Which usually they're filled with ice. Every baseball movie I've seen, they're filled with ice,
Yeah.
not hot water. And then we go to
The elementary school.
where he's written
I love
Sam
the
Hain.
I love the guy.
Sam
I love the guy who's
Hain.
showing him the blood spots. He's like, "Here's the broken window here." And blood spot here.
Here.
And then they walk over to
Oh.
the knife directly into a picture
And
of a
then
family.
this thing,
and there's
sister.
this here, sister.
Which I don't know. Is that a bread knife that's stuck in there? I think it's a bread knife.
I think it's the knife that he stole from Mrs. What's her face? Mrs. Elrod from the beginning when
It
she's
is.
making the sandwich. Yeah.
And he stole the bread knife from
Yeah.
her. I didn't realize he stole the bread knife
Yeah.
until.
But it
that
doesn't have
part.
any blood on it, even though he used it to
Yeah.
kill what's her face.
So he cleans his blood. So he might.
Well,
he might.
I-
do
They
clean
might wash his hands.
Yeah.
Well,
he
I
cleaned the
actually
blood.
I think that's a continuity mistake because they added that death later on. I think earlier there wasn't supposed to be any blood on the knife.
Maybe.
But that's just my opinion. And then we get the Sam Hain thing, which they don't really fully explain in this movie. But
Yeah. Sam Hain is a god,
yeah, like a spirit of
like a Halloween god.
yeah.
The changing of the
All
seasons.
Hallows
Sarah, you go ahead and go into it.
Sam Hain. October 31st. That's it.
I do
That's
like
all I know
the-
about Sam Hain.
I do like
I
the
learned it all
shot-
from that movie.
And it didn't do a good job of explaining.
I do like the shot of the knife on the desk, and then you see Marion Chambers coming out of the car through the window.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is called blocking.
Yeah. And I love Marion Chambers' new look. She's got her hair all let down. She's got like
Well, she went through some shit the day before, so she was like, "Listen, I'm spending my Halloween. I almost got killed by a dude with a wrench up his sleeve."
It's still the same day.
Yeah, no, like that happened.
Oh,
on
that was the night
30th.
before, yeah.
She's like, "Listen, I'm taking my Halloween off.
This is about me this time.
I'm trading in my cape for a sweater."
Also something, I was like looking up her character page today, and apparently there's a short story. I didn't know that she was an H2O. I forgot that she comes back. But there's like a short story, and like apparently her and Loomis like get together in real life,
Really?
which is really weird. Yeah, they don't seem like they would be meshed very well.
I sensed it
You
in
sensed the
this
tension.
movie.
You sensed the sexual
I
tension?
sensed something. I don't
You were
know.
like, those two.
What triggered it off? Was it him yelling?
Was it him yelling at her?
them yelling back and forth. No, the first conversation
He
where
yells, but she's like
yeah.
never phased by it.
Oh yeah,
She's like, all right.
she's like, okay.
She doesn't get upset, but
They're like
She's
an
like,
old married
Loomis,
couple.
Loomis, just listen, okay? Goddamn, shut your mouth. Let
I
me
love that
talk.
she's smoking all the time.
Yeah, just something about that, you know.
I love how like she's like, "You're ordered back to the Smith Grove," and he's like, "Well, just tell him I'm not here." And she's like, "No, we got a marshal outside."
The marshal's outside.
He's like,
yeah.
"Ah, shit." Yeah,
I thought of everything. She's like, well, yeah, that's not gonna work.
He doesn't really think things through at all.
No.
He's the worst.
He's like a psychiatric doctor, but he likes to pretend he's like James Bond or something.
He's the
Oh, yeah.
shittiest James Bond.
Just because he makes
Or he's
things
like some
sound
detective or
interesting,
something. He's got his gun all the time.
He is always pulling that gun on people. He will not put the gun away.
Like, we get it. You
It's
gotta
like,
go.
do you have to threaten us with a gun every second for the?
He spends like half the movie reloading that fucking gun.
Yeah.
And then when he
Yeah,
finally
like, even
needs
though he
it,
didn't shoot it off.
yeah.
He just pulls out the chamber and spins it. Then we go back to the hospital and we get like Jimmy's last like stalker scene where he comes in and he's like, I know you don't really know who I am, but
I'm gonna take care of you.
I really like you, and I'm gonna take care of you, make sure you're not hurt.
And that's when I deemed him useless Jimmy, because I knew from then on he was not going to do jack shit. She was gonna save herself, and he was going to become useless like he is later.
Yeah, and she's totally catatonic with her eyes open.
Yeah, she's like in shock. Yeah,
and why didn't he do the Schwarzenegger lid shut?
Because she's not dead, she's just catatonic.
We can only do it. The dead people can't do it catatonic, and that's when they think like there's something with the medicine.
Yeah, they think her medicine was wrong.
And then Janet runs to get the doctor, and he's just looking at his fish tank. She's like, "Why is he looking at his fish tank?"
I don't understand.
And then she turns around, needle in the eye.
I do like that reveal of him turning.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Something interesting about that effect is the needle in the eye effect. John Chambers is the guy who did that, and John Chambers was played by John Goodman in the film Argo.
Whoa.
So John Chambers, who did the special effects, worked on the CIA operation for Argo.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and like it was in that book, the John Carpenter on-set photography book, and they talk about that, and they kept asking him like, "What's Argo? What's this movie you're working on?" And he couldn't say anything
because it was like all under.
It was a classified. It was declassified in 1997.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you get that effect? The needle in the eye effect?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I didn't research into it.
Okay, well, I'm just
you build like a eye, and then you put like a needle. Like a fake
I just wanted to pick your brain.
Something I forgot to mention earlier is that this movie really calls back to a lot of the kills from the first movie. Right here, when Janet backs into Michael and his face fades in from the shadow, reminds me a lot of when his face fades in behind Lori when she finds the bodies. And then also earlier, the death with Bud and Karen reminds me a lot of the Linda and Bob situation, because Michael kills Bob and then he pretends to be the boy Bob and then kills.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So it's like when he comes in. So it reminded me a lot of those sequences from the first movie.
All right, that's what you do, Sarah. You make a prosthetic base.
Okay.
And then you take a fake eye.
Got it.
Like glass maybe or something, and then you put that on there, and then you make another fake lid and put that on top of that out of
Got it? You just put an eye on an eye.
Yeah, and then you take a fake needle that's cut and you put that in there.
Poke it through.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, and also after he kills Janet, he does the head tilt thing that he did from the first movie where he kills Bob. Caught that this time. So then after that, since they realize that the doctor's not coming, Jimmy decides to go look for Mrs. Alves, and he leaves Jill to watch Lori. But then that's when the other patient shows up. She gets distracted by there's a call for a patient, and she goes to tend to the other patient.
Yeah, after both it reveals that Doc's dead and then Janet gets killed, I just wrote down Michael's putting in work.
He is. He's working hard.
He's like, I gotta kill everyone in this hospital to get to Lori.
Yeah.
And then that's when we didn't see when she escaped, but Michael attacks the pillows instead of Lori.
Yeah, and then it revealed that she's doped up, running away.
He's so angry at those pillows.
Hobbling down the hallway with her cracked bone in her leg.
She has a crack, oh yeah.
Yeah, because from the fall from the first movie, she falls down the stairs.
That's right.
Classic hobble. It's like a classic scary movie hobble. I was very impressed. I felt very anxious the entire time.
Yeah, earlier Mrs. Alves mentions that it's cracked and not broken.
That's right.
That's rough.
Oh, okay, never mind. We're not there yet. But yeah, I just wrote down, did Michael cut the power? Because, nobody's turning on any lights.
He did. They cut, he did, but they don't show that scene in this movie. It's in the TV edit.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then, Mrs. Alves got her blood drained from her body.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know if I've seen a death in a horror movie that got me kind of like that one, really. The
blood is so red.
Yeah.
It's so very red.
Yeah.
And I don't think I got at first what was happening. I guess you see the needle and then you see that he reverse drained the blood from her body, and it just really.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he did to get her in that position. I would have liked to have seen a scene where she tries to fight him off or something.
I you don't know.
Yeah, you like that you don't know.
Yeah,
how it
that you just
happened.
see the end result. Because
I do like the picture of it. I think it's
gosh.
a cool picture
Yeah.
of her.
Yeah, it is
on the,
strangely beautiful.
That blood like that always cracks me up because it's so red, and like I call it the Dirty Harry blood
Yeah.
because in Dirty Harry, whenever there's like, I remember the sniper, the Scorpio killer, gets shot in the leg. Does he get shot in the leg or he gets stabbed or something? Yeah, he gets stabbed by Dirty Harry. Just this red blood, like it's red, like
Yeah.
this pours. It's like paint pouring out of him. And I don't know
Yeah,
if
it
that's
looks like paint.
yeah, I don't know if they did that because of the censors back then or what.
I don't know. I think
'Cause
kind of
later on you get-
stylistic, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because of the censors.
Because The Thing, which came out a year later, had
Like realistic
blood for the infamous blood test scene.
Nice.
Anyway,
And Jimmy finds her, and like, dumbass, he knows he's standing in a pool of blood, but he goes to run out of the room,
Useless
falls on
Jimmy.
his ass, and hits his head.
how does he
like-
not? How does he walks in and doesn't realize
Yeah, he like checks her pulse and looks at the thing.
he
Blood.
walks in and how does he not see it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how does he not see the huge pool of blood or anything?
But the first thing you notice is this little, and he gets down real close, and it's like this little bitty ass vial that's dripping, little bitty ass straw that's dripping out of her, and he's like, "Oh, there's blood," and then like looks down, and there's like he's like, "Oh, I've been standing in this the entire time." That would have been the first thing I would have saw.
I'm gonna go
And he
out on a
doesn't carefully
ledge.
walk out. He like does a quick turn to run out and falls. So dumb.
I thought I was gonna go out on a ledge and say I think that was for the audience that he saw the small drip first.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So we got the reveal.
You're gonna go on a ledge.
I'm gonna go out on a ledge.
Ledge, not a limb. You're gonna
A
go on a
ledge.
ledge. Much like Michael, who fell off the roof and fell on the grass, making a Wile E. Coyote silhouette. And then we get,
Jill trying to leave the hospital.
and then car won't work. Which this goes back to the previous episode where we talked about how Michael is a skilled mechanic.
Yeah, what did he do to the car?
He flattened all
drain
the,
it?
He
Yeah, all
flattened
the
all the tires,
tires.
and then all the cars they won't start.
Yeah.
He had
It
to do.
looks like I guess he cut underneath because it was
Maybe
leaking.
he cut like the starter wire or something. I don't know.
Was it leaking
the
underneath?
gas
It
tank.
did look like it was leaking, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, they
Yeah.
wouldn't start and it was dripping underneath.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I remember that detail.
I didn't. So obviously
He did something to make the cars not
he knows
work.
he knows a thing or two about cars.
And splitting the tires
He's a
wasn't
blue
enough.
collar
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Works
and I-
with his hands.
And I wrote down again, Michael's putting in work.
He is.
He's working.
He needs a day off. Like, don't. Why you gotta push yourself so
Also,
hard?
why does Jill run back into the hospital? Why didn't she just walk
Oh
down
my
to the
god!
sheriff's office?
That I was yelling. I was verbally. I was at work watching this, and I was yelling out loud. Like, why?
Like, everybody's so much more stupid in this movie than they are in the first
Just
one.
go elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's a huge place.
Just walk
It's
home.
The world is so big.
Let's see, and then Jill gets killed. Well, I don't know why I thought her name was Julie. Probably because I like her
Maybe.
name tag.
I don't know.
I was reading everybody's because there's so many friggin' people in this movie. I was
Yeah.
just reading name tags.
They don't do a good job in this cut of it. They don't do a good job of introducing people. And they have another lift up death like they do in the first
Yeah, and the
one.
scalpel to the back.
That makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like
Ugh, the shoes just.
the part about that, like, there's like this behind the scenes thing in that book where there was wires that were attached to her.
That were holding her up.
Yeah, but you can't see them.
Yeah,
and
you
like
can't at
even
all.
the special effects guy was like, I don't know how we didn't see those wires
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because that was back before you could erase them with computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
And her shoes fall off.
Yeah.
that's
It's
how you
funny
signify.
bit,
That's
yeah.
how you signify she's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoes off, dead. Yeah, I wrote down shoes come off. And then that's when Lori sees him and she runs away.
Yeah.
And she does her Breakfast Club slide. God, that makes me laugh. She
I
like
missed that.
she
She does,
slides
like,
like
the
Breakfast Club, like the
slide.
Breakfast Club, and like
And then turns the corner.
yeah,
My God.
which I did a
This came
side by
before Breakfast Club, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah Breakfast Club
Also,
is
Breakfast
80.
Club stole it.
Yeah, I did a side by side comparison of Breakfast Club and this. So I will post that on the
Oh,
Instagram.
please do.
Follow us on Instagram at Welcome to Haddonfield. We post a lot of cool stuff on there. We being me because I
Yeah,
didn't
we
get
being Nick.
I didn't
'cause
get
don't
Peyton the
have any-
password.
I don't have any. I don't have any access to it. So.
Well, you work on Queer Movie Night so much that I think
true.
like
I work so hard.
I should take over for this Instagram.
Deborah has access to all the accounts, but she doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, and I always know when it's
She's the
Deborah
star.
because
She
it's
doesn't
just it's pictures of you.
Yeah. If it's anything about me, I'm not full of myself. It's Deborah.
That's so funny.
I love this chase scene of him chasing her through the hospital.
It's pretty
really
cool.
good.
It's so good. I just wish she'd stop looking back. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Well, she is like in a cloudy state of mind. Like every time they do her point of view, it's like clouded on the sides.
I'll give her that.
So
I'll
she's
give
like
you that.
drugged up.
This chase really reminded me of the opening chase from Suspiria.
Yeah, for sure.
After I forget her, I don't even know the character's name, but she falls from the the movie's so
the
beautiful.
balcony, yeah.
But it's not that one. It's later in the movie where she's running and she
she falls into the wire.
she falls into the razor wire.
Spoil anything.
That's the worst
I haven't
death in
seen
that
it.
movie.
Are you going to watch a 1977 giallo horror movie directed by Dario Argento?
Yes, sir, I am.
You should come over and watch it at my place because I have a DVD.
Thank you. I think I will do that.
Do you have the Blue Underground DVD?
I have the newer one, like the 4K restoration.
Oh, yeah, the
DVD.
Blu-ray.
Is it very good?
It's very good. Yeah, I love it. It's so pretty. It's such a beautiful
it's a
movie.
beautiful movie, and it's
Yeah.
a crazy ass movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
But that
yeah.
death is the worst one in the movie.
When she falls into the fucking razor
And
wire.
it lasts so long,
Yeah.
too.
It's like she.
Don't describe it in
It doesn't
detail.
even look like a razor wire. It looks like she just falls into a giant slinky.
She really hurt herself, too, on screen when they did that, when they filmed it.
Ugh. We need to have a one-off episode in which we
Yeah.
just watch Suspiria and talk about that. And
Okay.
Sarah, you're welcome back.
Yay!
Yeah, that's what this chase reminded me of. And then the Michael, whenever she goes into the basement,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she crawls through the window.
yeah, Michael does the lazy. In the first movie, he puts everybody on display in the house. Like it's like a Rube Goldberg
Yeah, he does.
mousetrap
He's
thing.
very theatrical.
And this one, he's just lazy with it. He just hangs.
He did hang the guy
He
up.
hangs the dude up by the light. And he's like, good enough.
Yeah.
He's like, the body counts twice as much in this movie.
He is
Well, I guess he
tired.
probably-
He's been doing work.
He probably set up Mrs. Alves, too. And the doctor, Dr. Mixter.
Oh yeah, his name is Dr. What?
It's Dr. Mixter, isn't
I
that
thought you
weird?
said Dr. Mixture.
Because he likes mixed drinks.
Yeah, probably. It's such a
Ew.
weird name.
Oh man. John Carpenter was probably like, mixture. He like got a mix. He was drinking a mixed drink.
Yeah,
not
I'll make
mixture.
sure. He'll be the drunk, whatever.
Yeah, and then Laurie jumps through the window and lands in the glass,
Oof.
like the box.
It's a hard one. That was hard to watch.
Glass.
Ugh.
And she runs out to the parking lot,
Ooh, it's almost safe.
and gets into a car, and it won't start.
And guess who comes on over?
We're not.
Useless.
Not yet, though. You're not there.
Wait for it.
You'll get to see your line later.
It cuts.
Yeah.
It cuts to the
They're in the marshal's car, yeah.
into the marshal's car, and that's when they reveal that Lori and Michael are related.
But first, what do they talk about, Sarah Jean?
What are they? Is it my turn?
Sam Hain.
Oh,
Hey,
Sam Hain.
this usually I tune out whenever Loomis has one of his monologues because it's just so
He
like.
has so many
Sam
monologues in
Hain.
this movie.
But this one is kind of interesting because it sort of brings up he doesn't believe in Sam Hain. It's just sort of like unconscious mind,
Yeah.
which is an interesting.
well, like
Darkness within us.
The first time they bring up Sam Hain, they make it seem like Sam Hain is this god that is powering Michael, and that's
Yeah.
why he was. And then in this monologue, Loomis is like,
He's he's still human.
he's the dude
Yeah,
who just happens to be wearing a bulletproof vest.
yeah.
And then,
Evil dude.
and then there's the hidden file.
Bum, bum.
I love this dialogue where like Marion Chambers is like, no, there's something you don't know. There was a hidden file. They never opened it.
I just love that she
They sealed it. The governor, after he found out about the murders, he requested that the file become unsealed.
Were you about to say something?
No,
To me for some reason.
Well, I just love she tunes his entire monologue
Yeah.
out and holds all that information
Yeah.
for so long, and she's just like, okay, you gonna shut up now? Okay. Anyways,
It was like she was doing bad improv, and when she
Yeah.
thought of a joke and wouldn't listen to the other person,
You
and
can
then she
see
said
her
her joke.
she's just thinking about it the whole time, like, yeah, Sam, okay, all right, Sam Hain, yes. Anyways, what's important is the unsealed file.
She's like, actually, she's doing she's doing some mansplaining.
Yeah.
She did classic man.
She's been doing some ma'am-splaining.
Ooh,
There you go.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I wrote down hidden file, question mark. Lori is Michael's sister. Eye roll.
Who knew?
I hated that shit.
That was like a big twist, though, when it came out, though. People were...
Yeah, looking back, watching it now, I'm just like...
Yeah.
I feel like I watched the first movie and I already knew that. I did not know that was a twist. I thought it was just from the beginning we knew she was his sister. That's why.
Yeah, in the
he
first
was
movie,
after
it's
her.
not said that. Yeah.
You know what this movie makes me think of? This movie makes me think of, like, the first movie is the first season of Twin Peaks. This movie is the second season of Twin Peaks, in which you expand on the past characters, and then you add a shit ton of characters you don't care about.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
Yeah. Anyway, just want to get that out
Makes it easy to kill off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, they don't do, in this cut of the movie, they don't do a good job of, like, introducing the hospital staff to you, so you don't really care that they get killed off.
Yeah, they're just bodies.
Yeah. In the first movie, they do such a good job of like introducing each of the girls and like giving them their personalities. You do like care about like what happens to them.
Another thing I wrote down in this scene is Loomis drunk? Because he seems like he's slurring through a lot of his stuff.
He's just. I think that's his general just disposition.
And then he shoots the window out.
Oh yeah. Those orders have changed.
And he's like, you usually shoot off a warning shot, right?
That's what you guys do.
Yeah, he's just like reading detective novels and like he's like, this is how you do it.
I think he watched Dirty Harry. That's what he did. This now we've established that Loomis's favorite movie is Dirty Harry, and Michael's favorite movie is Smokey and the Bandit.
There we go.
Okay, so the warning shot thing really throws me off just because in real life everybody in the fucking car their ears would have been ringing.
Yeah. From when he shot out the window.
Yeah.
There would have been a car wreck.
Yeah. That guy, the marshal, he's a great driver. As soon as he shot, he did a U-turn.
A perfect Yui. Right back around.
Directly. He was like,
right back around. There was no challenge against that gun to the face. He was.
I love that his car has a single yellow siren in the back window. I don't know if y'all noticed it.
I didn't see it.
Whenever the car is like speeding towards the hospital, like you can just see that light flashing in the back. And then we go back to the hospital parking lot where Lori's hiding in the car.
Useless Jimmy.
Go ahead, say what you have to say.
What do you have to say about useless Jimmy?
He's just.
I love how he's like, we're gonna get out of here, and then he passes out mid-sentence.
Then lands on the horn.
Yeah.
And
so
it's like,
he signals that they're out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he alerts Michael, to their presence.
Yeah.
Good God.
So not only did he
then
not
Lori
help,
has to run out of the
he
car.
unhelped. He was, in fact, useless.
He's an unhelper.
He's an unhelper.
Unhelpful Jimmy.
He added shit to the plate for Lori.
Son of a bitch.
He did nothing for her.
And then at this point, this is where Loomis, Marion, and Marshall arrive. And Lori's crawling.
Yeah, Lori, and she can't scream for some reason.
Scream.
She's like trying to tell them that she's there.
Well, she's just so scared.
Yeah.
When they finally get in, though, then she can scream. And I was like, just a little too late.
Yeah.
And that reveal of Michael, like, by the fence with the red light on him is so cool.
Good.
The mask in this movie is so much creepier than it was in the first movie.
Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know what it is. It's good.
It's the same mask as from the first movie because...
but the lighting's just better or something?
No, the mask it's the original mask, but a bunch of different things contributed to the mask just getting fucked up over the years.
Yeah.
For one thing, Nick Castle kept it in his back pocket whenever he wasn't wearing the mask. He's like, I'll just slip this in my back pocket.
Yeah.
And that warped it.
Yeah.
And then Deborah Hill had it, but she kept it under her bed, a bed in her house, and she was a heavy smoker. And so that's why
creepy.
And that's why the mask...
It's like more smoky looking.
Yeah, it has a kind of a yellow tint to it.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, they said they wanted it to look kind of weathered, too.
And then Dick Warlock, who played the Shape, and he was a stunt coordinator in this movie, his head was different than Nick Castle, so it's kind of lighter.
It wears different, yeah. He said something funny in the behind the scenes I was watching. He was like, I heard in another interview, Deborah Hill said that I never got the walk right. And I just want to say, she was on set the whole time, and she never told me that I wasn't walking the right way.
Did he say it that sassy?
Challenge.
Maybe not as sassy as I made it sound, but he was pretty upset. And it's funny because I did watch the documentary for the first Halloween movie, and she does say that. She's like, nobody else ever walked the same way that Nick Castle did.
Well, because he just walked like a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Dick Warlock did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job, and he was a stunt coordinator.
And you know who else he was? He was Kurt Russell's stunt double in Escape from New York.
Well, there we go.
That's how he got this job, because he was working on Escape from New York, and they said, we need a stunt coordinator.
You know, I should become a stunt double.
What kind of stunts can you do?
Forward roll, tuck. I got that.
That's good. They can use that.
What was the first one you said?
Forward roll, a tuck.
That's it?
A tuck.
Forward roll into a tuck?
A tuck.
I took stage
but
combat.
I can tuck really
Sarah,
well.
Did you take stage combat?
I did. A rapier and dagger.
Oh, rapier.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What's a rapier? Because they referenced that in the song Whiskey in a Jar by Thin Lizzy.
I'm probably going to do this and then be totally misquote it because I really don't remember, but I think rapier is the long,
That's
skinny.
the really thin one.
Yeah,
right?
the thin.
Well, the fancy one?
That's because the daggers are bigger,
Yeah.
obviously.
There's a video game we played on PS1 that we really hated because, well, I didn't hate it. My dad beat the shit out of it 1,000 times. I just hated it because I just don't like fantasy video games. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. But you started off with this dagger, and it was just, and you couldn't kill anything with it, and it was horrible.
I know. I hate when the fantasy game starts with a dagger. You can't kill. It's got no range. You can't kill anybody with it.
So stupid.
It looks cool, though.
Thus ends the first tangent of this episode.
That's when Lori finally gets their attention, banging on the door, and they let her in.
Yeah.
And then Michael walks right through the door.
Dude, that was unnecessary.
That's cool.
I thought that was so cheesy.
You notice that
think
Michael
it's cool.
never uses his hand to open up any doors in
He
this
just
movie.
walks right
Just
through.
bust right through
Yeah.
it.
And this is when Loomis shoots him 5 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was one less than before, right?
Yeah. And then the marshal's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that
No, he's
Marshall.
not dead. He's still breathing. And he's like, all right. And then he's like, Marion, go use the radio. He's like, I'm the only one authorized to use that.
Go use it, Marion. And then she's like, oh, okay.
All right.
And then Michael kills the marshal.
Slits his throat with the scalpel.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
he chases Lori and Dr. Loomis.
I don't understand why Michael switched between, he went from a knife to
Yeah.
a scalpel.
Because it's
Went
medical
from a knife to a
themed.
hammer and then to a scalpel, right?
Like, was he just trying to blend into every environment he's in? So if he's in a
Maybe.
house,
It's
he
what
has to
he
use a household
finds.
object.
He's
don't know.
thrifty. He
He had that
He's
bread
creative.
knife.
He's
He had that
creative.
bread knife. Why couldn't he use the bread knife?
He had to snap that picture of the family at the elementary school.
They need to know I was here.
had to leave it there.
I love that he took the time out of his night. He's
And to
like,
write Sam Hain on the chalkboard. He broke
This'll
into the
really get
window. Also, the window hole, this is going back so far, but the window hole is like so small. Like, there's no way he climbed through that to get into the.
well, he probably just opened the window or something.
Maybe. Oh, he broke it and then opened it
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that's true.
And then we get to, he
He
breaks
chases Lori and Dr. Loomis.
into major surgery.
Ooh, this is a good one.
I like that the door's labeled major surgery.
And Marion finally calls the sheriff's department on the radio.
Get your ass down here.
This
Oh,
is Marion
yeah.
Chambers.
Who?
It's Michael Myers.
Yes.
Sarah, can you do a dramatic reading of that? Just do your interpretation of what would you have said?
Oh.
Always started with a good O.
Oh. It's Michael Myers. Get your ass down here.
Who's that?
Who's me?
No, I'm the guy on the other end, and you're Marion. Okay.
I'm Marion.
Okay.
Okay.
So call me up.
Okay. Guy on the phone.
My name's Hank.
Hank. I don't want so many names. Hank.
Yes.
Someone's at the hospital. He's killing people.
Who's speaking?
Marianne.
Mary Ann?
Marion.
Oh, Marion. How you doing?
There's
you-
no time for small
Are you
talk.
authorized to use this?
They told me to.
Who told you this?
Your ass. Get it down here now.
My ass?
Yours.
Ma'am, I'm just a telephone operator.
Excuse me, sir.
Even though she's on the walkie-talkie.
I need
This
a
is
pack
just
of
a small
Marlboro
taste of
Lights.
the improv that you can catch on Riverside Falls.
Yes.
Yes. We should actually do that for the Halloween episode.
Do
Just a
improvised
recreation of
Haddonfield.
Halloween.
Yeah,
too.
we're just gonna
Her
redo
Haddonfield.
Halloween, and that comes out next month.
Yes.
Anyway, we're recording that next month.
I really like this ending scene where they like run into the surgery and then
Michael breaks through the door that's
Yeah.
locked.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stabs
Sam Loomis gives
Yet again.
Lori a gun, and first she doesn't want to shoot it, but then she picks it up and she has
Oh,
amazing
she-
aim because she shoots out both of his eyes.
In one take. Well, I mean, 2 takes. One for each eye.
Wait, is that what they alluded to? Is that she shot him in the eye?
Yeah, so he's blind.
She shoots him in both eyes because it cuts to him, and then there's 2
Bloody
I know that.
tears.
I know that.
And I love that shot, too, of his little blood
Yeah.
tears.
I always interpreted that she missed the first time, and then she hit him, and then blood just blinded him.
Maybe that's what it's doing, but I assumed she was
No.
shooting out both of his
It
eyes.
seemed like she shot him, and then like the first bullet missed, and then the second one
Yeah.
hit him.
I
Maybe.
definitely think she shot him in both eyes.
That's what I like to
my
think, too.
conclusion.
Well, I could
Because
just
he was
be an
blind
idiot.
and then he couldn't.
I'm thinking about this movie from a realistic point
Yeah.
of view.
Well, I'm
I
thinking
think that's
about
why-
how
I
you
think-
should get your ass
I think
Where should I get my ass?
to
down
the
here?
hospital.
Ma'am.
I think that
Stop ma'am-splaining to me.
I will never stop mansplaining.
I think I assumed that she shot his eyes because he is instantly blinded after that,
Yeah.
and they use the gas tanks to like
To throw him off.
Throw him off. That part is cool where he's like throwing the
Yeah.
thing around.
I'm trying to. Oh, it's Reservoir Dogs. In Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Brown gets shot in the head, and like he wrecks the car, and he's like, I can't fucking see, I'm blind.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what that makes me think of.
okay.
So I thought she like missed it, and then she
Maybe.
hit him. Anyway,
We're not going to argue this any further.
but she does shoot him
She
2
shot
times.
his-
Yeah.
Yeah, the part where he's slashing in the dark and like he's
It's
just
so
going after the hissing
cool.
is really cool.
Yeah.
Dean Cundy, like this movie's very dark lighting wise, but Dean Cundy like did an amazing job in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I had trouble viewing it on my iPad. So dark. It's my one critique.
Better
Anyways.
lighting for iPads, please.
Please, we need it. Thank you. That and the wig. Get rid of it.
Hi, this is Apple support. Can I help
Yes,
you with?
I'm trying to view Halloween 2 on my iPad and it's too dark.
Like in the room or?
It's too dark on the screen. I can't see. All the lights are on in my house, but I can't watch Halloween 2.
Well, ma'am, just turn the lights off in your house and maybe turn the brightness up.
No,
in this
then
room.
I'll get scared.
Sounds like a more of a personal thing.
I need to watch this. I'm recording a podcast with my friends tomorrow.
Oh, okay. What's the podcast?
It's called Welcome to Haddonfield.
Oh, and where can I subscribe to that?
You can subscribe on Arcade Audio, right?
I also like.
Wait, is this a Patreon thing? Do I have to pay money for this?
Maybe?
Oh man.
There's also a moment right before she shoots him where she like says Michael, and then he like takes a moment.
Oh, I love that moment so much.
Do you think that like he
Where,
knew?
where she says Michael?
Yeah, she says
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's like he didn't know that it was his sister until then, or like he's known the whole time?
I struggled with that. I thought he knew it was his sister, but he just like hearing her say his name
Yeah.
and say like with
Pulls him out.
compassion because the way she says it
and no
is
one's actually spoken
Nobody's
to him
really said
before.
his name.
no
Yeah.
one has.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Because Loomis treats him like he's a.
Like a thing. Yeah, he
Yeah.
calls him
Sam
it. He calls him
He's
it.
not human.
Human.
Treats him like what?
Sam Hain.
Sam Hain.
Yeah, and then she escapes after shooting him.
And then Loomis blows the thing up.
You know,
Okay.
he pulls out the lighter
Yeah.
that was given to him by Terry Bradshaw
Yeah.
earlier in the film. Set up and pay off.
Did you guys see it coming when he unscrewed the little, Did you see it? I did not see it coming.
What, releasing
That
the
he was
gas?
going to blow up
That
the
was going to
room?
blow up the room. No.
No, I didn't see it coming.
Okay.
Also,
I've
like,
seen 1,000 movies, so yes, I suck.
I thought I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. I found
Yeah.
it very rewarding. I thought it paid off.
Yeah, I think it's a good payoff.
It was, I mean, that is a good setup and payoff.
And this was supposed to end the story.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
Sam Loomis and Michael were supposed to be dead at that.
I love his final line. He goes, "It's time, Michael,"
Yeah.
and then he kills himself and Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great.
love
Sacrifice. I love that they died together.
Because yeah, in this
Honestly, I wanted Loomis to die for
There-
a while, so.
there is no Sam Loomis without Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It just feels like Sam Loomis just dedicated his life
Yeah.
to just keeping this dude. He even says in the first
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
like, I've been dedicating my life to keep
Yeah.
this guy behind bars. R.I.P. Loomis. See you again in
Never.
2 movies.
Yeah. Where apparently you come... I'm looking... Because I don't remember how they explain that he's still alive, so I'm looking forward to that.
He has a burn on his
He
face.
comes back.
He
Just
comes
a
back
little
with a
burn.
burn on his face.
Just a little
Like
burn.
like
even though
Jaws
his whole
too?
body... Even though his whole body was covered in fire, just a little burn on his face.
Yeah. And then this is really cool. Yeah, I wrote 11th kill, Loomis and explosion. 12th kill, fire walk with Michael.
Oh yeah, love the firewalk.
That was
Wow.
really cool.
Nick, do you like Twin Peaks?
Yes. Which I would do a Twin Peaks podcast called Fire Talk with Me, but there already is one called that.
Oh,
and it
man.
makes me so mad.
Makes me so mad.
Makes me so mad.
Mainly because
when-
I'm not a guest on it.
Oh, one day.
That's such a good name for a Twin Peaks podcast.
That is.
Fire Talk with Me.
You knew how someone had to think of it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, this part, I keep writing down Metal Gear Solid just because I play so much Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a part in Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, in which it takes place in a hospital, and there's a guy known as the Man on Fire, and he's like going through the hospital on fire, and they had to have stolen that from this
Oh,
for the
maybe,
video
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Anyway, thought that was a little something I throw out
So
there
Michael
for you
finally falls
MGS5
down dead.
fans.
Yeah.
Yep, and his face is melting.
His mask
Yeah.
melts into his face. Love it.
Mask melts.
His mouth melts in his face, and it's satisfying.
And then Marion wheels Lori out in the wheelchair, and they take her in the ambulance. And then
And
we
then-
hear Mr. Sandman again.
Mr. Sandman.
That's the end of the movie.
Bring me a dream.
Boom, 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 boom.
So a new feature I'm gonna do on the show is which we keep a total of how many people Michael Myers has killed,
Oh.
and at this
So
point,
it's 11, right? In
this is
movie?
14
Oh, 14.
Total.
Since
Yeah.
the first
It
movie.
felt like 14.
because he killed 5 people in the first
Yeah.
movie, and then he killed 9 people in this one.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought he
Because-
killed 14 alone in this movie.
Yeah, because
Felt like-
he didn't kill Ben Tramer,
Yeah.
and he didn't kill Loomis.
Yeah.
So we're at 9
There we go.
bodies.
Body count. Nice work, Michael. Let's give a shout out to Mike Myers for his
Star
hard
of Austin
work.
Powers, Mike Myers,
Since they don't.
Fat Bastard's my
That
favorite.
for real as a kid, I used to be so confused. I thought Mike Myers and Mike Myers. I was
Were the
scared.
same,
I was
yeah.
scared of SNL Mike Myers because I thought he was secretly Michael Myers.
I'm imagining every time you watch
Without the
Sprockets,
mask.
the Sprocket sketch, you just thought Dieter was Michael Myers.
Just without the mask, yeah. It was.
Do you guys think at the end of this movie that that Jimmy is dead, or do you think he survived?
He survived because he didn't get stabbed or anything.
Yeah.
He just passed out
Yeah.
because he fucking hit his head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think. I thought he died.
Really?
When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, he died." Like Michael might have like stabbed him off screen or something.
I thought he died too, but then watching it the past couple times, I was like, I don't think he's dead.
I just thought he died
Yeah.
of natural causes.
There's a different ending.
the-
There's a different ending for the TV version, so
Yeah.
they do answer it for sure. But I just wanted to bring it up this time.
Oh, what is the?
So we're gonna say it
Different
on
ending?
another episode.
Oh.
Or we're gonna do like that. Edit
yeah,
on
we're
another
gonna
episode.
after we do all these episodes, we're gonna do an episode because there's 2 cuts. There's 2 cuts for this movie. There's a producer's cut / TV's cut, and there's also another cut, a producer's cut for Halloween 6.
Ooh, okay.
So here's some notes that I wrote down just from like researching and from that book, which this book I keep referencing is really cool. I
Yeah,
bought
plug
it,
that book.
bought it the day it came out. It's
Plug
called On
it.
Set with John Carpenter, the photography of Ken Gottlieb Walker, and it goes through Halloween, The Fog, Escape
Love
from
The
New
Fog.
York, Halloween 2, and Christine, which I was kind of bummed that she wasn't there for The Thing.
Yeah, that is a bummer that she
Yeah.
wasn't there.
But the stuff for Escape
love
from
The
New York is
Thing, too.
really cool. Like, there's a side-by-side picture of Dick Warlock, who plays The Shape, and, like, it's him dressed as Snake Plissken next to Kurt Russell dressed as
Yeah,
Snake
yeah.
Plissken. It's really cool. So check that book out. There's a lot of, like, behind-the-scenes photos and also a lot of, like, she interviews people and
Yeah.
whatnot. So this is what I got from the book. Rick Rosenthal, who directed the movie, was hired as director after Deborah Hill and John Carpenter saw a thriller he directed. Who
Yeah, it was a short film, right?
and Nancy Stevens, who plays Nurse Chambers, is married to Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm glad Peyton's backing me up.
Yes.
That's why she comes back in H2O too.
Well, he directed Resurrection.
Well, he directed Resurrection. That's right. Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're going to bring back people for 20 years later, you might as well bring back as many people as possible.
Yeah. Whoever was still alive.
Yeah, and then Irwin Yablans and Tommy Lee Wallace didn't like the script for the movie.
Yeah, that's the guy who I saw on the thing.
And Wallace, he was originally going to direct it, but he withdrew for the project.
Yeah.
Totally.
He said that because the new script was so violent, he didn't want to do it because it didn't mesh well with the first movie.
Yeah, but then he came back for Halloween 3.
Halloween 3, yeah.
Season of the Witch.
I'm still interested to see that one.
And then the movie was shot at an abandoned hospital near an airport, and planes would often fly overhead.
Yeah, that was on the thing I watched
that
too.
sucks.
The director Rick Rosenthal said that when they scouted it, he was like, "There's like planes every 15 minutes," and they were like, "No, it's just a bad weather day." And then he was like, "Turns out that was the good weather day because when we were filming, it was like 15 minutes of straight airplanes, and then we had to."
Oh my god, that would be so
That's
obnoxious.
insane.
He said it was like terrible for the actors because they
so
had to
pissed,
they were going through so much.
Well, I read that they had a guy on the roof with a walkie-talkie going on. There's a plane coming.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Just plain guy. I wonder what he got paid an hour. I should do that.
He probably didn't get paid well.
Yes, hi. Welcome to the interview. So you want to have the position of person who...
Yeah, the walkie-talkie guy.
Do you know how walkie-talkies work?
I need to be shown. I
gotta go. I gotta go to the phone lines are cut.
No, wait, come back.
I love when she's on the radio too, and she's like, "You didn't tell me how it works."
Okay, and then the last bit of trivia is that Leo Rossi, who played Bud, was on a softball team with Christopher Guest, and that is how Jamie Lee Curtis met Christopher Guest, her now husband.
They said that on the documentary.
I did not know that they're married.
Yeah, that's a crazy household.
That's awesome.
Two super talented people.
Are they still together?
Mm-hmm.
How dare they?
Good for them.
That's great.
Well, I think I saw something where it might have been an interview with her in which she first saw him in This Is Spinal Tap, and she thought he was very attractive.
Yeah.
And
I love stories like that.
Yeah.
I hate like what's his name? John Travolta, like he's such a creepy guy in real life. But I love the story of like Kelly Preston like had a poster of him on her wall and then they ended up getting married.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's like I think it was Roseanne Arquette. Or it might have been Patricia. It was one of the Arquette sisters.
Yeah.
They Nicolas Cage was like, I want to marry you. What do I need to do? And then she made a list of stuff that he had to
Dating
do.
in the old days.
She made a list of stuff that like as a joke, and then he fucking started doing everything on the list, and she was like, "Boo."
Boo. He called her bluff.
So that's Halloween
to simpler
too.
times.
That's Halloween too.
Yeah, that's Halloween too.
Any other thoughts on it, Sarah Jean?
Just a lot better than I was expecting. I went in with zero expectation, and I was pleased.
Should we rate it?
Yes.
Should we rate it
Out
on
of
pumpkins,
4?
or should we come up with something else?
pumpkins.
What would the rating scale for this movie be?
It's tough.
2 blown out eyeballs?
Two
Out of 2 bottles.
naked breasts.
Naked breasts.
Naked breasts.
Naked
Naked breasts.
There's like a lot of fire. There's not a really good one.
Okay, on the heat scale.
Out
On the
of
heat
shots.
scale.
Let's do a heat scale.
Out of 6 shots.
From 0 degrees to
From 0 to scalding. What would you rate
Ooh, from 0 to scalding. I'd give it a let's see, like I'm not lukewarm, warmer than that, but not scalding. What's right under scalding?
hot.
I can't. What's a word to describe less than scalding? Yeah, I'm gonna give it a hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna rate it like the water, the ideal temperature for washing your hands.
Yeah. I'd say it's pretty. I like it. I do wish that there was more character development and we got to know the characters a little better. And some of the dialogue is terrible, but I think the kills are really interesting. There's a lot of really great shots in the movie, and I think it holds up as a sequel for the first one.
Yeah, and out of pumpkins,
Ooh,
0 to 100, how many pumpkins do you give this movie?
I give this movie 70 pumpkins.
Nice. I give it like 88. I'd say 88 pumpkins.
Okay, since I was originally thinking 72 pumpkins, but I wanted to be lower than yours since you liked it more than me, I'm gonna go with I'm going to go with the year Michael first killed. I'm going to go with 63 pumpkins.
63
Nice.
pumpkins.
Nice. You heard it here, ladies and gents.
Trying to think of anything else. What did we cover last time? Oh, yeah. We're going to steal with Married. I really like doing that. We're going to steal from Married with Movies.
MVP and LVP.
Who was the MVP, most valuable player, and who was the LVP, least valuable player?
In the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is off of their acting, right? Not off of the characters.
Just anything in general, I guess.
I would say I love Jimmy. Like, I'm so attracted to him, but I want to say he was the LVP as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he sucked.
Straight up.
Yeah.
So
Same.
We're going to go with Jimmy.
Just Jimmy's out.
I'd say MVP as an actor is Jamie Lee Curtis having to deal with that wig. Also, Annie Brackett playing a dead body. And MVP, Mrs. Alves. She's great.
That's what I was going to say. Mrs. Alves? Is that what it is?
Alves, yeah.
Alves.
Alves.
Yeah. And then Jamie Lee trying to muster up the strength to scream. That was...
Yeah, that's a great moment.
So Jamie Lee Curtis is the MVP?
Yeah.
And the LVP is Jimmy?
Yeah, for sure.
Or Karen.
I think that, like, that's definitely culminated in that one car scene. We saw that there.
Son of a bitch.
Clearly.
Yeah. My LVP is Bud.
Yeah, he's gross.
Well, yeah,
I hate him
he
too.
doesn't even, he's not even worth an LVP to me. He's beneath that.
And I'm going to go MVP. I'm going to go with Michael just because he was putting in work.
Yeah.
He did
And
work
he was a
it.
stunt coordinator. That was good, too.
Yeah.
He worked.
Dick Warlock.
He was working. He's
Overtime.
I don't know how when
9
he
to
slashed all those
5.
He was
tires.
TCB taking care of business.
9 to 5.
Bachman Turner Overdrive wrote that song about Michael Myers. He's taking care of business every day. Every way.
I hope you post a video of like him doing stuff to taking care of business on Instagram.
This is
Just a montage of him doing like hitting
work,
people,
man.
killing people.
All right, because I post
taking care of business. Yeah, you did the car.
because last
Slow Ride.
episode we're asking like what music does he listen to when he's driving around, and Rich suggested "Slow Ride" by Foghat. So I did a video of him driving around the slow ride while stalking Tommy. So I think a montage of him killing people while listening
Taking
to
care of business is amazing.
That's good.
Nice.
Especially the hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. So next episode we're gonna do Halloween 3: Season of the
Halloween 3.
Witch. Not sure who the guest is gonna be
Yeah,
yet.
TBD.
TBD. And what was I gonna say? This one's different because John Carpenter was like, "This is it. He's dead."
Yeah.
And so they were gonna start making anthology movies. So
Yeah.
every Halloween after this is supposed to be a new plot.
Yeah.
But Halloween 3's bombed so bad, and everybody wanted Michael Myers to come back that they
Yeah.
ditched that idea.
But it takes. Is it supposed to take place in the same universe?
I would think it would.
Yeah. I'm interested to watch the movie again and see if there's any hints that it like takes place in the same.
Well, it takes place in a town that's fake, so
Yeah. Well, there's that.
Santa Mira, California.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like so separate. It's like, yeah, we probably wouldn't hear any hints of the other movie then at all.
We might though. I mean, there's a lot of like video games and whatnot that takes place in
Yeah.
the same universe that you don't hear about.
Well, stay tuned. We'll have to look out.
Yeah. What line should we close this out with?
You let him go. What is it?
I shot him 6 times.
6 times.
And what was it? What were you so happy about saying, Sarah Jean?
Samhain.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.